Mm,
I am so thrilled. I
me too.
really am.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
I know that there is something that you would love to have results
Yes,
in our
there,
session.
yes. Yeah, something big. So I'm writing a
Mm.
book right now. I've
Mm.
been writing it for really like 5 years. And for the last year, it's been in editing form with an editor.
Mm.
And we're getting towards the very last pass.
Mm.
And pretty soon it's going to be more about formatting and then selling it and trying to figure out how to make that happen. And do have big dreams, not only for this book, but for myself as a writer. I've always been an artist, but I'm kind of transitioning to writing right now,
Wow.
and that was my secret dream as a little child, was to be a writer, and I've always
So
been
this is
so blown
huge for
away.
you.
It's
This is
mythic.
huge.
Yes, yes, it's huge.
And I take it this is your first book.
It's my first book. Yeah.
Wow, wow. Mm.
hmm And I don't have a title yet. I can't believe I don't have a title, but I don't. And
That
that's
sounds
okay.
like a great title of a book.
That I don't have a title.
I can't believe I don't have a title.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that it would sell this one, but it's about dating. My book is about dating.
Mm.
And so anyway, I don't know exactly how to ask the question that I want to ask, but I know I need, if I'm going to
Mm.
if I could make one thing in my life better, it would be more excitement, I'm excited, but I'm also kind of getting up against these edges of, once the book is actually ready, then what the heck do I do? And how do I want to make good decisions around either going to self-publishing, or if people still publish books through big publishers. I don't even know if that happens anymore. And
This is so, seriously, this is so perfect. You're exactly where you need to be. You
mhm,
know, it's right at that point where the thing's almost ready, right?
mhm, yeah,
And
at
I
least I
would
think it is.
imagine, I would imagine that it's really important to you to get this book out, to write it.
Yeah, yes. Oh my gosh. When I have that first copy in my hand, I can just imagine myself just kind of melting like the Wicked Witch, just
Yeah,
turn
yeah,
into
yeah.
water, and it's like that's enough for me. If I have a completed book that I actually wrote and it's just like, oh, But from here to there feels kind of far from where I'm
Sure,
standing to the
sure. Oh,
finished book.
absolutely. I
hmm
tell you, I'd actually be worried about you. Seriously, I'd be worried about you if you weren't in this state right now,
hmm hmm
almost finished with a book. You
hmm
know, uh, I've written a couple books myself, and I've
hmm
coached people who write books, and there's this very special place. You
hmm
know, it's like you've been nursing it, and now it's going to happen, and
Right.
it's like, where do I want it to go?
Yeah. Right.
How do I want it to meet people?
Right. Wow. The way that you just talked about it really reminded me of like labor, like pregnancy and gestation and then birth, labor, birth, and then like, the kid out into the world. And
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, I'm wanting to give it the right nutrients so it flourishes and
Exactly.
hmm
Exactly.
yeah.
So, if there were one thing that you and I could accomplish together in the time
hmm
we have about 20, 25 minutes, I'd say.
Uh-huh.
What is it that you would love to know that we did together?
Right. Well, I've been thinking about this. Like, how do you get coaching on this? I don't even know what to ask, but I did answer those questions from
Mm.
the thing that Josh sent out. And the biggest challenge, I guess, maybe I need if so. Okay, the question was the biggest challenge about this for me, about writing a book and publishing a book.
Yes, yes.
Is partly is a perfectionistic thing where I just feel like I think I'm done, and then I go back and I just feel like I need to rewrite the whole thing because
Yeah,
I always feel like I'm so much smarter than yesterday's Amy,
absolutely.
Like I
Hmm.
just think I'm
Yeah,
like so much more creative and so much better, and then like
exactly.
the old creativity. So So I want to be in a place of kind of at some point I have to say it's done. Don't even look at it again. Don't try to edit it. Don't, I have to be ready to let it go. Like when you have the baby and you let the baby go.
Yes.
That's one piece. Um,
Hmm.
and then maybe also just having a deep inner knowing of why I'm doing this, I feel like
Hmm.
might be the thing that helps, kind of buttress me through
Perfect.
the book thing.
So let's look at it.
Okay.
Why are you doing this?
Oh gosh. Well, first of all, I guess first of all, it's really to like support myself. Like there's a little part of me inside that I just want to do something that has a big impact, and I want to be able to die thinking I made a difference in a bunch of people's lives because I did
Uh,
this one thing that really affected a lot of people and made something a lot better for a lot of
Beautiful.
people.
Just beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's like uh, being a real contributor
Yeah.
to your community, whatever that
Yes.
community is, to be a
Mhm.
real contributor to your community.
Yeah, and there's some part of me that says if I don't go big enough, like if my community is just 5 people, like I don't know why, but that's not enough for a little Amy. Like I like want a big community. I want to make a difference in a lot of people's
Well,
lives.
of course. And why not?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Why not?
So you have a number in mind.
Yeah, like thousands, I just feel like I just want I want thousands and thousands, if it could be 100, if my book sells 100,000 copies, like if I could get to that 100,000 copies sold, I would be like, forget it. I did it. I can die now. I did
Oh,
it.
sweetie.
I did
Yeah,
that
I know that.
thing,
I know that experience. Yeah, it's like it
Yeah.
doesn't get any better than this. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Just
yeah.
yeah, it's like that's my like I said, like I could melt away like the Wicked Witch. Like
Exactly.
I'll be okay. 100,000 people.
So
Uh-huh.
therefore, in order to do that,
Mm-hmm.
it would be useful to um, get the book out.
Yes, getting the book out would be good.
I
Yes.
mean,
And getting it out in a way that it can be big. You know what I mean? So I'm going in between like self-publishing. I have like my community. It's just the people who I know, and I can do what I can to beg them to buy the book. But some part of me says like I'd rather make less money and have a wider audience, or
absolutely.
I care more about the impact than the money.
Yep, I hear it. I absolutely hear it.
Did you self-publish your books?
Um, my first book I self-published.
Uh-huh.
Um, that was back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
uh, covered wagons, you know.
Uh-huh. Right.
um, we didn't have social media. We didn't have places that could carry my books.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have Amazon now, where you can, essentially have your own um, selling stage. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
um, so it helped promote things. And then the other two books, I had an agent who shopped the book around for me.
Mm-hmm.
But things have changed even since then.
Right. I
And I'm
know. I
I'm
know.
I'm wondering if you've um, checked it out, if you've done any research so
I'm
that you can
just,
see.
yeah, I'm just starting. Just now starting.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where we can look, you see, because
Mm-hmm.
it's so important for you to know that because the two of us have worked together,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to do something
Right.
that you wouldn't necessarily have either have done before us talking, or it would have taken longer for you to do, or
Right.
so I think this is a very precious moment for you, Amy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sweet. It's very precious.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
um, I have a sense that you have a lot of curiosity, that you like to see options for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah. I want to have, yeah. And I also just want guidance. I want somebody to say, like, Amy, do this. I know that's not your role, but but some part of me would just like to just know what the biggest potential, like what path has the biggest potential, or the, you know what I mean?
Well, um, let me uh, let me tell you something about that I've learned. Okay,
Hmm.
this is kind of a little bit of it's not quite advice, but what I've learned,
Okay.
that it doesn't so much matter so much where you start.
Hmm.
What matters is that you are persistent,
Mm.
and that if
Hmm.
one way is working, you stay with it.
Hmm.
If you notice that you started one way and you did it for a while and you notice it's not working as much or as well as you wanted,
Hmm.
and then you research other ways and you continue on,
Right.
you see,
Hmm. Hmm.
because uh, there's rarely one solution that will get you there.
Hmm.
What's needed is for you to start, see where that leads you.
Right.
Is it bringing you what you want? If it is, continue. If it isn't,
Make a different choice.
yes.
You know, this is a simple thing maybe for you, but for me, it's like a little bit blowing my mind, because something that's been really stopping me. That's said, like, I have to make this decision, and it's like you take one fork in the road and you commit, you know? Like, if
Oh,
I take
yeah.
that
Yeah.
fork, like,
Yeah.
what I chose, and that's what
Yeah.
I'm stuck with. So just
Yeah.
remembering that, like, after I go on that path, there will be tributaries, there will
Oh,
be other
always. I
choices
love the
I
way
can
you
make.
put it.
Hmm.
Tribute. That's exactly what it is, Amy.
Hmm.
Tributaries, you see.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
And the other thing is this, that you're at a very special place that we could call trouble at the border. And what that
Uh-huh.
means is between the idea of the thing and the actual having written it and put it out,
Hmm.
there's this border that we have to pass. And it's from the idea stage and the writing stage to actually finishing it and putting it out.
Yeah.
That border. And it's called, I call it trouble at the border.
Uh-huh.
And when you're at trouble at the border, which is where you are right now,
Yeah.
there are always these self-limiting internal conversations.
Right.
I call them monkey mind.
Hmm. Hmm.
It stands for that aspect of the mind. It's a Buddhist
Hmm.
that always is chattering at us as it swings from doubt to worry and back to doubt again.
Right.
You're right where you need to be.
Hmm.
And that monkey mind is the one right now that says, nope, you got to do it one way or not,
Right.
you know? And
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
at some point, we wave at the monkey, give it a banana,
Uh-huh.
you know.
Yeah.
If we
Hmm.
had 3 hours, I could tell you even more about it, but this is just the
Uh-huh.
basic.
Hmm. Hmm.
And take one small, sweet step.
Yeah. So I think that where I'm at is doing this research, like you were saying, be curious, check out the different options that are there in front of me now, follow my intuition, take a sweet little step in that direction, and just do all the things that I can, just foundationally. I mean, I don't have that big of a trouble like believing in myself. Like I
No.
think it's going to be a really good book. I think it's like
Great.
really, yeah, I think it's going to be really
Well, it's
helpful.
kind of
I think I've
interesting.
done a good job.
I have that sense about you that that's really true.
Yeah, I think that my breakthrough is like is my reach. Is like how do I really do that? Like I haven't published anything ever before, hardly anything, and so but I think that that's the monkey mind right there. Is like,
Exactly.
the one that says like, but you haven't published anything, you have
Exactly.
no
Oh,
reach and all
yes,
that
yes.
stuff. So
And
just
even
persistence, right? Going
and even
anyway.
when you publish, like
Hmm.
I have 3 books,
Hmm.
even when you publish, I'm working on my fourth,
Uh-huh.
Monkey Mind still comes up.
Right.
Listen, they liked your other books, but
Hmm.
they're not going to like this one.
Right.
They're going to
Right.
find out that you really don't know what you're talking about, Maria.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's always there.
Yeah, imposter stuff. Yeah, or
It's,
criticism, any kind of criticism.
yes.
That is one thing that I'm really afraid of. Like I am like
Oh,
it's like it has to come. There isn't like a single YouTube video that doesn't have
oh,
a thumbs down on it, you know? Like
oh.
I know that people are going to be critical. I'm the critical one, you know. I open it up and I'm like, I've got to rewrite this whole thing. Of course, of course there's going to be criticism. I definitely that is one thing that I got to grow a little bit of a thick skin before I put this out
Mm.
there.
The
Yeah.
thing I appreciate about you is that you can kind of laugh at yourself a little,
Totally.
You can
Yeah.
kind of appreciate the dilemma you're in. Hmm?
Yeah, yeah. I've even thought one of the working titles I have about this book is called The Dating Fool. And it's
Mm.
partly because of that. Like, if I laugh at myself or make fun of myself kind of from the beginning, it's like I can kind of, like, I'm calling myself a fool already. If you want to call
Hmm.
me a fool too, then you're on my side, you know?
That's great. That's great, Amy. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
You want
So,
to call me a fool, you're on my side.
yeah,
Wow.
you're on my, yeah, I'm doing it too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yeah. But so from your perspective, it just feels like it's kind of like just go ahead and make a choice and do a little research and
Small, sweet steps.
sweet small steps.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
that's where you are right now,
Yeah.
doing the research,
Hmm.
picking some, picking something
Yeah.
and doing it.
Seeing how it feels.
But that's the big thing.
Yeah.
There are some people who've written books, Amy.
Hmm.
There's some people I know them,
Hmm.
who have written books that they never published.
Right. Isn't that amazing? I have a friend too, is just sitting in his computer, just like amazing
Well,
book
that's because
sitting there.
they're at this point,
Right,
which
right.
is exactly where you are, except you're going to take action.
What did you call it? The zone, the
This is trouble
trouble,
at the border.
trouble
Trouble
at
at
the
the border.
border. Right, right, right. Trouble at the border. Right. It's like people who go ABD, all but diploma,
That's
PhDs who
it.
like never
That's
get
it.
there. Yeah, I
Oh,
won't do
yes.
that. I'm not doing that.
Okay, good.
I will not do that.
Good.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm gonna
love it.
publish it, even if I
Good.
just get the one book in my hand and then I melt.
Oh,
No, I want it to go out there. I want
good.
it to be big. Yeah, yeah.
So, this is so great. It makes my heart happy just hearing you about this,
Mm, mm, yeah,
because I really
yeah,
see that you are going to do something.
yeah. Thank you. Yeah, and ultimately, what I would like to do is inspire other people to do the things that they
Of
love too,
course. Of
and
course. Of course.
yeah. So part of my following through is to set an example of like, look, I just went out and did dating, which I loved, and then I wrote about it, which I loved, and now I'm selling it and making money, which I love,
That's
Like,
wonderful.
why
Amy,
don't we
that's
all just do
wonderful.
that? Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think a promise for action is in order.
Okay, I'll make a promise. Are we
So,
are we
yeah,
cheering? Cheers.
cheers.
And am I going to make a specific promise to you? Is that
I
what I'm
think
doing?
that's useful, yes,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
because when you make a promise with another person,
Mhm.
and you write down what it is you're going to do and by when,
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
starts putting you past the border. That's the only way. You can't analyze your way past the border.
Mhm.
You can't um, uh, cry your way past the border. The only
Mhm.
thing that will get you past the border, small, sweet steps.
All right.
So,
Okay. Now I
what's
am
Amy
writing.
going to do? What is a
Um,
small, sweet step that Amy is going to take?
well, I mean, so the editing process is still happening, so I have to keep doing that. I
You have a
I
date? You have a date by when the editing will
should be
start.
done. I
Hmm.
don't have a date for that. I should have a date for that, huh?
Oh, yeah.
But how do I know when we're done? Okay, we have to at least get through the end. How about the end of this year? How about the end of 2020? I can finish it in the next couple of months. December
Well,
31st.
uh, like, no kidding?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. December 31st, we're done with the text editing.
Great.
Yeah. I think that we could
Great.
definitely do that. Yeah, 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 yeah.
For
Okay.
sure.
I'll check with my editor today, but I think that that's a really good goal. Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And I can tell because your eyes light up when you say it.
Yeah. I feel confident and it feels like a relief to say like, "Oh my gosh, by New Year's Eve, I'm
It's
done."
done.
New Year's
Great.
Day, yeah, no more text editing. Okay. And
Perfect. Oh my
mhm.
goodness. I
Mhm.
also, I've coached a lot of authors. One person I coached spent 4 years editing
Oh my gosh.
text.
Oh no.
He
I
kept, he said, but you don't understand, Maria. There's this other way I should say it. And I won't say his name, but I'll just make up his name, Ralph. I said,
uh-huh.
Ralph, at some point you have to stop. And so he eventually stopped. I was coaching him for a few months, and
Mhm.
it's it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it could go on forever, really. It could just,
Exactly,
there's a zillion ways to say the same sentence, so why wouldn't you just keep going and find
exactly.
more better ways to say
That's it,
it? At some
Amy.
point, it's good enough.
Great. So December 31st.
December 31st, I'm done editing, and also by then, I would like to have, just at least some ideas of, oh gosh. I mean, what I think I should do, here's what I
Mm,
really would like to do, is
please.
to at least send some part of my book to bigger publishing companies. I just want to feel out that path before I go into self-publishing. I want to taste what that's like, and I don't know if I need an agent or I can just kind of cold send them a couple chapters or something like
The
that.
so let me suggest something to you, okay?
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Um, there are uh, on YouTube,
Mhm.
there are various people who talk about ways to do something with a book,
Uh-huh.
okay?
Okay.
And um, you might want to go onto YouTube and look for, or at least Google,
Mhm.
um, the best ways to approach a
Mhm.
publishing house,
Mhm.
or which is better for me to do, go directly to a publishing house or
Get an agent.
get an agent who will do it for me.
Yeah. Okay, great. And I do also have an old friend from college who worked for a big publishing house, Penguin or Bart, one of those, big ones. So I can ask him too.
Brilliant. So,
Yeah,
what's his first name?
Brent.
Great.
Hmm.
So, by when will you talk to Brent?
I have to get his contact information again, but I know somebody who I can get it from. I can talk to Brent by the beginning of October,
Great. October what?
October 1st.
Wonderful. Write that
October.
down.
I'm writing it down, yeah.
And what are you asking him?
Um, I'm gonna ask him what he knows about. current, I don't know if he still works for them, but what he knows about current big publishers and book publishing, and how I would
Perfect.
approach them.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Mm. And
Yeah,
relying on the wisdom of the resources that you have, you know.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he's a
Hmm.
good resource for you.
Yes. Hmm.
So talking to Brent by October 1st,
Hmm.
the thing is done, the text is done by December 31st.
Hmm.
Is there anything else that you're willing to do to another small sweet step
Hmm.
along the lines of um, looking at the climate of publishing and
Hmm. Maybe I should talk. Well, tomorrow, actually, I have a call already set up with a woman who self-publishes, and I'm going to pick her brain a little bit. And she's self-published quite a bit. So that's something, but that's not something new. I feel like I need to come up with one more new thing for you.
perfect for
Uh,
you, my
for
dear.
me, for me, but for our contract here.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, what else could I do? The big publishers. I mean, the one thing that could happen is that my friend Brent doesn't know anything because he hasn't worked there for 20 years.
Mm.
So I feel like if not him, I'm gonna continue on maybe I'll ask on Facebook. I have a lot of Facebook friends.
Oh,
So
great.
I find someone to talk to about hello? Oh,
Yes,
you're moving again. Did you?
yes.
Okay.
You froze. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I was saying this guy, Jeff Affleck, I might connect with him, and he's somebody who helps people who self-publish. He helps them optimize their Amazon thing, and
Great,
costs like a
great.
thousand dollars,
Okay.
and he does all the stuff for you. So I think
Okay.
I'll get in touch with him and maybe do a consultation or something. I'll
Okay.
set up a consultation with Jeff Affleck.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
this is all along the lines of getting different kinds of information.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Great.
Collecting information and getting a feel, seeing
Now,
what feels good.
are you comfortable with choosing a way to start? Having a
Um,
date by when?
oh, well, all these things I can do pretty much right away. But with Jeff Affleck, I'll just send him an email. I can send it today.
I'm talking about having made a decision which way you're going to go.
Oh, when do I want to make that decision by?
That's huge. This is, I think,
Yeah.
this is the crux of the matter.
Yeah.
You're not
Well,
making the decision today, but
no.
it's important, I think, for you
Hmm.
by when you will have made the decision.
I think it might be good for me to have the same deadline for like when the text is done, I also know which direction I'm going to go with it, you know?
Fabulous. Put that
Yeah.
down.
Okay. I like your strength. Okay, so but done text editing, and then I've also made the choice about self or big publishing.
Mhm.
I don't think I'll go in the middle.
And what to do.
Yeah. What to
Exactly.
do? Okay, great.
What do you think?
I think that that's very successful.
Did we do the do?
I think we did it. I think we just did it with
We
with
did
those
it, didn't we?
commitments, like yeah, setting goals and setting timelines and deadlines, and yeah,
Well,
that's
I just
juicy.
love your spirit. And
Mm,
I have a sense that you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
mm-hmm,
It might be useful for you to tell a couple, three friends
mm-hmm.
about your promises.
Yes, I'll tell my
Let them,
editor and a couple best friends. Yeah, for
great.
sure.
Let
Hmm.
them support you in keeping your promises.
Yes, definitely. I
I must
definitely will.
tell you, by
Mm-hmm.
way of advice, that's
Uh-huh.
how I've done it.
Uh-huh. Great.
You know,
Accountability. Yeah.
really,
Hmm.
accountability buddies
Yeah.
always
Yeah.
helps.
Yes. Yes.
So you've done great, Amy. It has
Thank
been a real
you.
pleasure
Yeah, for me
supporting you.
too. Thank you so much.